If your fasting blood sugar is consistently high in the mornings, this is a sign that your insulin sensitivity is low. Fasting blood sugar is one of the most important health markers, and when it starts creeping up, it's a major warning sign for prediabetes and type 2 diabetes. So in today's video, we're going to cover why your fasting blood sugar is high and what this means for your health, how it's related to insulin resistance and other warning signs to look out for, and the best strategies to lower your fasting blood sugar naturally. And the good news is that even if you've already been diagnosed as pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetic, you still can bring your fasting blood sugar down. These conditions are reversible, and we'll get to how to do that towards the end of this video. So let's start off by talking about why fasting blood sugar matters and what this exactly means for your health, both short and long term. Your fasting blood sugar is the amount of sugar in your bloodstream after not eating for at least 8 hours. A normal fasting blood sugar is below 100 milligrams per deciliter, or 5.6 millimoles per liter. Between 100 and 125 milligrams per deciliter, or 5.6 and 6.9 millimoles per liter, is pre-diabetic. And above 126 milligrams per deciliter, or 7.0 millimoles per liter, is type 2 diabetic. Now, if you have high fasting blood sugar, if you are in the category that's pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetic, this means you've had insulin resistance for 5, 10, maybe even 15 years. Because insulin resistance starts long before fasting blood sugar goes up. And this is what needs to be addressed if you want to bring your fasting blood sugar down. You need to address the insulin resistance, improve your insulin sensitivity. This is going to bring down your insulin levels and bring down your fasting blood sugar over time. But let's take it back a step and talk about what insulin resistance is, because that's going to help us to understand what we can do to reverse it. Insulin is the hormone that regulates blood sugar. Every time you eat, insulin moves sugar from your bloodstream to your cells for energy. Now, when this happens, the body will release more insulin as an immediate response. And this excess insulin is going to be enough to get your cells to take in the blood sugar. And this is why your blood sugar will still look normal in the early stages of insulin resistance. Your blood sugar will be normal, but it's taking a lot of insulin to keep it that way, which means your insulin levels are elevated. But there becomes a point where this excess insulin isn't enough to keep up. And that's when your blood sugar starts to rise as well. At which point you're going to start to see high fasting blood sugar numbers, and you're going to be diagnosed with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. So some of the telltale signs of insulin resistance, even if you don't have high blood sugar yet, include stubborn belly fat, cravings for sugar and carbs, especially after eating, feeling tired after meals, frequently being hungry, skin tags, darkened skin patches around the neck and in the armpits, and difficulty losing weight overall. Now, over time, like I said, insulin resistance will develop into type 2 diabetes eventually. And this can lead to some serious long-term consequences, like nerve damage, heart disease, vision problems or blindness, and kidney disease. But the good news is there are things you can do to improve your insulin resistance, to bring your fasting blood sugar down, and these are going to help you to improve your health immediately and prevent these complications long-term. And the earlier you can catch it, the easier it's going to be to reverse. Now, that's not to say that if it's progressive type 2 diabetes, it can't be reversed. It's just going to take a little bit more work, and it might just take a bit longer. But now let's get into the reason you probably came to watch this video, and that is how to lower your fasting blood sugar. And the first thing you're going to want to do is take apple cider vinegar before bed. I love this trick, and I hesitate to call it a trick because it is scientifically proven and it is very effective, but it kind of feels like a trick because of how easy it is. What you're going to want to do is take 1 to 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, dilute it in water, and drink it before bed. Apple cider vinegar and vinegar in general slows down the breakdown of carbohydrates, leading to more gradual blood sugar responses. Studies have shown that drinking apple cider vinegar before bed lowers fasting blood sugar the following morning. And here's a bonus tip. You can also drink apple cider vinegar before meals. And because of how it slows down carbohydrate digestion, this means less of a blood sugar response to that meal, less insulin is going to be needed all at once. This is going to help you to control your blood sugar better and also contribute to bringing your fasting blood sugar down over time. Step number 2 is to intermittent fast. This is one of the quickest ways to improve insulin sensitivity and bring your blood sugar down. Intermittent fasting involves cycling between eating and fasting periods each day. One of the most common methods is 16-8, where you fast for 16 hours and then eat within an 8-hour window. For example, you stop eating at 6 p.m. and you start eating at 10 a.m. the next day. When you fast, your insulin levels drop, allowing your body to burn fat and restore insulin sensitivity. Now, if you're new to fasting, start with just 12 hours. You can work your way up to 14 or 16, but even if you can do 12 hours consistently, this is going to make a big difference. Because a lot of people nowadays, they eat from the moment they wake up until right before bed. And when you're constantly eating throughout the day, this means that your body is constantly producing insulin, as opposed to when you're in a fasted state and your insulin can come down. Because it's when your insulin is low that your insulin sensitivity improves, and that your cells start taking in blood sugar more efficiently, leading to lower fasting blood sugar over time. So if you can spend a larger portion each day in a fasted state, this will make a big difference. Now, one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make when they first start trying to intermittent fast is not getting enough electrolytes, and especially sodium. So if you're someone who feels tired during your fasting window, if you get headaches, if you get brain fog, electrolytes might be the missing link. They can be an absolute game changer. Because when your insulin levels are low, your body retains less water. And when it retains less water, it also retains fewer electrolytes. And if you don't replenish these accordingly, that's when you can experience these side effects. Now, I will say that not all electrolyte supplements are created equal. A lot of them have added sugar and artificial ingredients, which can be counterproductive to your goals, especially if you're trying to bring your fasting blood sugar down. And that's why I recommend Sodi's everyday hydration salts. They have no sugar or artificial sweetener, and they're formulated for fasting. They can help prevent headaches, fatigue, and muscle cramps. And unlike a lot of electrolyte supplements on the market, they're high in sodium, which is absolutely key here. Salt is not the enemy, and especially if you're fasting, you need more of it. If you want to check them out, you can head to healthcoachkait.com/Sodi electrolytes. I'll put that link in the description box down below. And make sure to use code HCK15 at checkout to save 15% off your first order. And yes, they ship worldwide. Step number 3 on how to bring your fasting blood sugar down is to take a morning walk. Some people experience what is called the dawn phenomenon, which is a spike in blood sugar before waking up due to glucose being released by the liver. A simple way to combat this is going for a walk before breakfast. Walking activates your muscles, allowing them to absorb glucose without needing insulin. This naturally lowers blood sugar and improves insulin sensitivity over time. And this doesn't have to be a long walk. You don't need to be power walking. Even 10 to 15 minutes can make a big difference. And I really want to emphasize that these steps don't have to be difficult. You don't have to do some huge overhaul. These simple, small habit changes all add up. Step number 4 is to get better sleep. And I know, easier said than done, but I really can't stress enough how big of an impact sleep has on your fasting blood sugar. Studies show that men who sleep less than 6 hours per night are almost 3 times more likely to develop diabetes. And even after just one single night of poor sleep, your insulin levels are higher the whole following day, and your blood sugar is as well. Not to mention that a lack of sleep increases your hunger hormones the following day. So you want to prioritize sleep by going to bed at the same time every night, avoiding blue light 1 hour before bed, and keeping your bedroom cool and dark. And finally, step number 5 is to reduce your stress levels. Again, easier said than done. Stress is often overlooked, but it can cause your blood sugar to rise throughout the day. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol and glucagon, which signal the liver to dump more glucose into the bloodstream. This makes it harder to control your blood sugar throughout the day. This worsens insulin sensitivity, and this increases your fasting blood sugar over time. So if you can incorporate these habits into your daily routine, you're going to see your fasting blood sugar lower pretty quickly. No extreme diet necessary. Now, I want to hear from you guys. What is your fasting blood sugar? Let me know in the comments down below. Was it higher? Have you been able to bring it down? Was it always considered normal and it's just recently that it's bumped up? Let me know down below. And also, if you have any questions, leave them there as well. I try to answer as many as I can, especially right after I post a video. Even if you just want to say hi in the comment section, I love to hear that too. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.